Hey, Rentals Club members. Today I am with Merilee Karr. She's a chair of the Short-Term Accommodation Association, and as well as the CEO of UnderTheDoormat. As you may know, we have an event coming up in Europe. It's the Short Stay Summit taking place on Tuesday, 14th of September in London. So Merilee is going to be able to tell us a lot about this event, what's going to be happening, reasons to attend. But first, Merilee, I'd like to welcome you and to hear a bit about what's going on right now in the UK with your business.
Yeah, wonderful to be here. The UK, fortunately, is in the process of unlocking. Timelines of how we'll get to the full-scale unlocking is, still a little bit uncertain. But certainly for our industry, our first opening was on the 12th of April, and then, finally everything was open from the 17th of May in hospitality, which is incredible. I can speak from my own business because we're still waiting for some more of the industry stats, but we've seen occupancy of around 70% across our portfolio in May, which I think is a sign of a couple of things. One, that when customers are traveling, they're choosing to stay in short-term rentals and self-contained accommodation, probably in as opposed to hotels. But secondly, that when things start to unlock, there is a demand there. Our portfolio is primarily based in London, although we have Hosperia customers on our tech side that are based around the UK. The big surge of the kind of staycation demand is often in the seaside and holiday destinations, but even in places like London, we see a recovery of demand and that preference for customers who want to stay in, apartments and homes, which I think is great news for the sector, and hopefully for most of the guys in Europe, some positive news about what's to come.
Hopefully, we'll get the same thing in mainland Europe. And so, what's interesting as well, Merilee, that you also, as I said, the chair of the STAA, and you are organizing a physical event in London, again, on the 14th of September, and not just alone, right? So you're getting together, and let me read this right, because usually I mangle acronyms. So you're getting together with the European Holiday Home Association. So there's you, of course, as chair of the UK Short-Term Accommodation Association, and the VRMA, the Vacation Rental Management Association, that usually has its own events in Europe. So tell me a bit, how did you guys, three associations, join forces?
Well, look, I think the great thing is that we're a very collaborative industry. So we work closely with those associations on a whole host of different policies and other kinds of initiatives across the industry. And last year, we all started talking about the fact that there's lots of different conferences across Europe. And wouldn't it be great if all the industry associations came together and we could have a single European event that would happen every year that we could get everyone in the industry involved in. And what was great is as soon as we started discussions with some of the key sponsors, the feedback we had was incredibly positive because they said, well, great, we don't need to attend lots of different events. We can actually just focus on this as one of our prime events of the year. And I think what you see by some of the early sponsors we have, obviously Expedia Vrbo as the title sponsor, Booking.com as our platinum sponsor, Marriott, Sykes, all of these guys as gold sponsors. So with all of that, you can see that there's an appetite from all the big players in the industry to come together. And I think that really bodes well for, all of us in the industry, small and large, to be a part of one event where we can all do business. Because let's be honest, it's been a tough year for everyone in the sector. And I think that ability for us all to come together to help spur commercial activity in our sector, and also to lead the way and show that you can travel, you can do physical events, all of these things, which of course help drive, demand for our sector overall. So I think it's a super exciting thing that it's coming up now in September, and it'll be great to have everyone in the industry involved.
So you had great reactions for the potential sponsors, and can you maybe tell us a bit more about maybe the venue of the conference?
Yeah, so we're going to be having it at Tobacco Docks, which is in central London. What's amazing about it is that it's a venue which is pretty COVID friendly. Obviously, we had some different criteria and talking with our sponsors. We wanted to make sure that almost no matter what happens, this event can happen in person. So the venue has a lot of open air space, so that actually all of the exhibiting space is undercover, but is open air. So obviously very COVID friendly, by having, very good ventilation and all these types of things. But it's also a kind of iconic venue in London. It's an old docks, which has been converted. So it's got a lot of character. And I think what's really nice about it is, rather than a big conference venue or whatever, it feels authentic. And I think, for our sector, which is all about, living in a real way in the places that people visit and travel and kind of that experiential travel element, I think the venue really encompasses that and will be an incredible place for us to come together. But it's also not just for this year. The commitment of the three associations is that this is the first of what will be an annual event in the future. And we plan normally to do that in the spring. So we're looking at next May to be the next event. And the plan is that we will have it consistently at Tobacco Docks so that every year everyone will know in their calendar that this is a not to miss event.
Great to hear. Great to hear. And the first one is in September, on the 14th of September. So what would be good, three good reasons for people watching to attend the Short Stay Summit?
I think it's really simple. The first reason is it's a chance to reconnect across the industry after, what will probably have been 20 months for most people since the last time we were all together. Marriott's actually hosting rooftop drinks the night of the event as well. So I think that'll be a not to miss social engagement for everyone in the sector. And I think secondly, the content. This is very much an event about looking forward, not looking back at COVID. And I think it's about all the trends, all the technologies, all the businesses that are prized for growth in the future. And it's going to be about coming together and being able to help companies grow as we recover. And I think the third thing is, we've got not just the large companies, we've got smaller companies, and we're also going to be having people from the property sector, hotels and the traditional hospitality sector. So there's a lot to learn, not just from our own sector, but from some of these other sectors which touch us. And also, of course, opportunities that come out of the convergence across some of the sectors that we touch. And so I think, for anyone who's in the sector, whether it's suppliers selling into the industry, whether it's property managers who are looking for the new technologies to be better as they come out of COVID, or indeed if it's the platforms looking for new customers and property managers, there's going to be something for everyone. And my goal is that everyone will come out of this having some really exciting commercial opportunities to help their businesses grow.
Fantastic to hear. So for everybody watching, I suggest you head to the shortstaysummit.org website to get to know more about the thing. I think tickets are open for sale already.
I believe they are on sale if you're part of the associations at the moment, but they will go on sale to the general community within the next week or two. So look out for that website. I think you can pre-register to get the ticket announcements as soon as they're live.
Perfect. So reach out to your association or check out the website very soon. Merilee Karr, thank you so much for your time today, and all the best for the Short Stay Summit.
Wonderful. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Cheers.